从手机、手表到矿泉水，生活中到处都是品牌。不过，在这么多的品牌当中，要如何能够脱颖而出，让消费者有印象，这是现在台湾品牌厂最大的难题。而台湾的品牌厂宏基和宏达电去年纷纷陷入亏损，今年又要如何来拼突围呢？我们今天非常荣幸邀请到了欧洲品牌教父 Zazel 和他的合伙人、品牌领袖学院的院长白婷院长来接受我们的专访。Hello, nice to meet you.
Hello.
This time, Taiwan's brand company faced dilemma like HTC and Acer. They got lost in the last year. So they are really confused about that. What's the problem of the Taiwan's brand company?
After 40 years, if I had two words to summarize what is marketing, I would say improving relationship or customer relationship. This is what if you succeed in developing, creating new involvement, a new relationship between people, this is the best marketing you can imagine.
But how can they make consumers know their dream? How can they to communicate? Is there any methods that can make more effective?
But today the environment of Taiwan, just like France, where I come from, is completely changed over the last 20 years. So one of the key issues is to be able to understand and to constantly investigate what's going on in the mind of the existing customers, potential customers. This is a key issue.
So is there any changes in the consumer mind of this feeling for the brand?
Today it's interesting to see how much people, more they grow, more they are not so much sensitive about the object. In the luxury business, a watch, a fashion necklace is an object, an item you want to buy, you want to acquire. Today, the consumers are moving from objects to experiences. They want to live through something they have not had a chance to live through. For example, a big flight to the moon. Well, not yet. They want to be facing some special events that they have never dreamed of. So this is the role of the marketing people, to be creative enough to imagine, those opportunities to be given to those people who already have a Louis Vuitton bag, a Cartier watch, and a Chanel perfume. They don't want any more. As soon as they reach 40, 45, they are much more interested in discovering a new sense for their life. And this tendency go down. Usually, people were reacting when they were 55, 60. Now, when they are already only 30 years old, they look at social media, social responsibility. They want to, as I said before, they want to discover a new sense of your life. Mm-hmm. They want to feel useful to the city, and you have to communicate that, I think.
You talk about the experiential marketing, right? And how can this brand company to combine this experience to their brand dream, to the consumers to have this experience exactly? Asus and HTC, they make their one-day experience marketing, like they held a car party. Is that fit this concept?
Today, a lot of people feel isolated. Even with a mobile on all the time, they are isolated, and they are looking for some way of belonging to some clubs, associations, and so on. And one way, I don't know if it's feasible with HEC, but with all those other companies, For example, I remember Christian Dior one day. I mean, I was in Singapore, and the man in charge of Dior told me, you know, when we have one woman who buys or man who buys a Dior product, we take their name, address, and we start to communicate with them, telling them, you belong from now on to the Dior Club. And that means that every other month you will receive a little newsletter. Every trimester, a little brochure. You will be invited in a special dinner, and so on. People today have to fight their own isolation. And developing private clubs, associations, whatever you can imagine, to gather people and giving them a chance to exchange, to raise questions.
Well, this caused a lot of marketing expense because we know that Acer and HTC, they got lost in the last year.
Many years ago, I was involved in building up the network of direct selling companies. And direct selling companies, you know, are involved in selling their products, not in store, but in the home or in hotel rooms or coffee shops. And the way to develop those networks, those huge networks, you know, companies like Avon, Amway, they have 5-6 million people belonging to the same network. How can you build, without too many expenses, such a network? Well, you stimulate people to create themselves, to open new clubs, new associations. And, you know, it's a kind of snowball. And so you don't have to spend much of your money. If you take Avon or Amway, the two companies I mentioned, you know, they don't advertise. They don't have an advertising budget. They have a promotion budget to identify the people who are willing to socialize and to create new clubs, to build up a new network.
A lot of luxury brands, like in the technology product, like Apple, like Samsung, and HTC, like they change their strategy to get into the low-cost market and launch the low-price product to meet another consumers. So we are curious about that. Is it a good way to save their company, or maybe there is some problem?
Developing low-cost is a very specific expertise. So you have to know how. I mean, just like in direct selling, if you don't know the tricks and the rules of the game, you will not succeed. However, in the luxury business, take the Swatch Group. You know, the Swatch Group is selling watches for $20, but also very high-priced watches. So there are some possibilities, but at the same time as I'm saying this, I can see my national airlines, Air France, which has a lot of difficulties to imitate EasyJet or Ryanair, because EasyJet and Ryanair are highly sophisticated business airline. So it takes time. It takes a long time and long patience to learn the rules of the game. But if you are patient enough, I think you can succeed.
Thank you, Zazel 和白婷。做品牌行销最重要的就是要知道消费者到底想要什么。而刚刚 Zazel 告诉我们，消费者现在已经从想要产品的本身，变成是想要生活中的新体验，甚至是帮他完成心中的冒险。从这个角度出发，去塑造品牌文化，或许是台湾品牌厂拼突围的另外一个思考方向。